panelists, let me start there, is by us going to the counties, they had no idea that there was something called IGF, people in Tharaka. And we were able to have even the representation from the county government. The head of ICT was part of the children's program. Another positive that we get from going into the counties is we get to build capacity of the CSOs that are on the ground. I know James will mention that they've not heard about IGF before, but they've also not hosted an event in this particular capacity. So by us going into the county and teaching them and showing them how to run such sessions, it gives them confidence to continue on running similar programs also on the ground. Then it also gives children from that county an opportunity to voice their views in regards to policy on internet-related matters. So something else that also is very clear when we go into the counties is we get to clear a lot of assumptions. There's an assumption that children in Nairobi do this on the internet, children in Tharaka. We have a lot of assumptions. So when you go to the ground and engage with the young people, we get the real truth on what is happening. So I'll share some fun facts that we learned or when we were there during this forum. Before you see the video, we have a video. So one of the things that I didn't expect to hear from the young people is they love online gaming. They might not have the consoles as the children in Nairobi, but in Tharaka, they love online gaming. I know one of the games, when we were having the discussions, and they were like, oh, please, we were telling you this, but make sure this particular game is not taken down. I won't mention the name because it's supposed to be played by over 17-year-olds, okay? So they are very conversant with online gaming. Something else we realized is how they see issues. Like, for example, we can talk about online scamming. How they interpret online scamming is very different. To us, online scamming is maybe when you've lost money, or to them, when they lose an account through a scamming, some form of scamming, or when they lose their gaming account. That is very real to them in terms of interpreting what scamming is. Something else I want to highlight that we learned from them is we learned about a market that offers free Wi-Fi from them. So during holidays, they go to that particular market. Then they also brought up concerns in regards to content takedown. It's taking too long. And one of the things that we've been looking at in terms of content takedown and cases being handled by tech platforms, we're only looking at social media platforms. But these young people, we had 2 young men or youth who came about, to talk about they lost their gaming platforms, through a scam, and they reported. And it's been 100 days. They are counting that they've not received a response from that gaming platform. So I cannot mention everything that was discussed. And next time, please, you are invited. Thank you.
I'd like to appreciate Kickternet and all the sponsors of this event for also sponsoring and supporting the youth initiative. I think this will be the 5th edition that we've done, and we've seen tremendous growth since the first time we did it in 2021. And happy to see majority of those who are actually in the room here today were some of the participants. In fact, just stand up for people to see those who are in the youth session yesterday and are privileged to be here. I've seen quite a number of their faces. If they're here, I think many of them actually, just to save time, most of the Gen Zs you saw here on stage earlier on. But it was very exciting. We had over 160 registrations with over 150 participation, which was a great number. I saw Ali here today, but I think he's just stepped out. When we started off this initiative, he challenged us to say, can you fill the room? I think I was going to challenge him and tell him, can he give us a bigger room for us to fill? Because we filled the room yesterday, and we were even busting, the capacity that we did add. But all this is the, effort and work of also young people. It's purely youth-driven. youth supported, thanks also to the National IGF MAG who provide guidance. So there's a lot of work that goes behind. I think we are the only youth initiative that has a proper MAG that follows, the principle of IGF, that the open, multi-stakeholder, having different representatives. So those of us who are here also for the first time, I'm sure there will be another call for the next edition. Please apply, be part of the MAG, be part, of the people who can drive this space and continue to do it. And Barrack, we've talked about how do we also cascade this down beyond national level to counties also, and reach out to what Watoto Watch and Children IGF are doing, so that this conversation does not sit here, but ensure that we also trickle it down. So it's a challenge that maybe you and I and KIGF can take, that going forward we can also borrow from what the Children IGF are doing, which is also the first in the world. So Kenya again is very, very proud to see our very own Watoto Watch here being the pioneer and trailblazer in terms of Children IGF in the IGF space. So I'll just want to summarize it there and say that we had great conversation specifically with the Office of the Data Protection, and it was about the Gen Zs, the data protection, the conversation, kusalamiwa, what extent do we get into it. And some of the key takeaways was an open letter to the ODPC and Ombudsman. And I see the Deputy ODPC here. Yesterday he was seated where I was sitting, and he was not very, very happy because things were fiery and he couldn't quite avoid it. But I think that is the nature of the engagements that we would like to see, and I thought it was very, very engaging. We would like to see even different partners here. Safaricom, why not also have a session, come and meet the youth at their corner, not always inviting them to your space. So we can have this kind of conversation that we are having here, because the setup of panels are not, the only way to engage. There was a call for legal and institutional reforms on many aspects, especially the demands around stronger data protection laws. One of the key conversations that was there was the independence of ODPC and the checks and balances on state surveillance versus national security in light of what has been happening here, from post-protest, there's been abductions, there's been disappearances, there's been killings and all of these things. So I think it's still an issue alive in many of the young people. As they said, they want to be referred because they can relate to these people who have disappeared, who have been abducted. And I think the last one was just youth innovation and advocacy, looking for more opportunity, like I've talked, for engagements and for talks. And we look forward to having more of this, more engagement with KIGF and most of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Keith. I'll also be very brief. I will speak about the Kenya School of Internet Governance. My name is Barrack Otieno. I lead the Kenya School of Internet Governance, and I'm a trustee at the Kenya ICT Action Network. First, I would like to thank the faculty before I make any other comments. I work with a team. There's Judy Okite, who is our administrator. I don't think Judy is here today, but she's essentially our principal. She's the one who makes sure that everyone does their assignments on time, and that we the faculty members actually mark the assignments, and that every cog of the wheel moves seamlessly. We have Mwendwa Kivuva, our treasurer. I can see he's moving. Oh, he's at the corner there. He's moving up and down. We made a decision last year because just like what happened this year, the options for funding KSIG started dwindling. The objective of Kenya School of Internet Governance is to bring new voices into the internet governance conversation. I'm really proud when I sit here with Lillian and Keith because there's a journey we've walked together with them, and now we are able to sit together on the stage. And the same applies to Mr. Walubengo there, who is a mwalimu to many of us here. I'm sure if Mr. Walubengo's students were to stand up in this room, maybe the entire room would actually rise up. So it's really an appreciation that this is knowledge that we are passing forward. On a personal level, every year I endeavor to bring someone either from Mashinani or someone new to the Kenya Internet Governance Forum, and that is what Keith is saying, that we should endeavor to do. So from last year but one, K6 students have actually been paying a fee, a nominal fee, to make sure that we are able to sustain it, and we really appreciate the fact that you have made it possible for us to hold the 9th edition of the Kenya School of Internet Governance. Kenya School of Internet Governance started in the year 2016. We are 9 years old this year. The Kenya IGF started in the year 2008. We are about 18 years right now. So KSIG is almost becoming a teenager if you do the numbers. In terms of this year's applications, we had 398 applications. We selected 37 to actually be part of the cohort. We normally take a lean number to make sure that we are able to attend to them as should be. In terms of the composition, we had 14 male participants and 23 female participants. I have to commend the ladies for the passion and the commitment, and even after many of them really called to say they really appreciated the experience. But again, as our CEO, Dr. Gigi, said in the morning, I think we want to see few manels. You can see I'm here with Keith and Lillian, but I'm sure we could do better. We need to have many more ladies at the forefront. In terms of those who completed successfully, out of the 14 gentlemen, 12 completed successfully, which was an 86% completion rate. Out of the 23 ladies, 21 completed successfully, which was a 91% completion rate. I think they deserve a round of applause. Our top student was a lady by the name Karen Kieti. She got 91%. I think Karen deserves a round of applause from the room. As we mentioned earlier, the objective of KSIG is to create new voices that will keep this internet governance conversation going forward. I must say that it is commendable that a lot of the participants are actually youthful in the room. And I think listening to the conversations today, they have been very high-level conversations, meaning that we are headed somewhere as a country, even though there are many things that must go, but at least we have a bright future in terms of the people that we are bringing up. But again, let me just say that we have to take up our respective roles, and for us to do that, we need the knowledge, and that's the knowledge that we are giving at the Kenya School of Internet Governance. So as I conclude, may I request any of the participants in the 2025 Kenya School of Internet Governance to rise up wherever they are. I think you can come up here so that we can take a photo with you, and then we will celebrate you as an audience, and you'll be the next people who will be taking these conversations that we've been having to the different doors. Asanteni sana. Those who are in the KSIG 2025 class, kindly come to the front. Let's redeem time. I think Lillian and Keith will join me in receiving them. Yes, they are also alumni. Please come up the stage. You have earned it. Tuwapigie makofi jameni as they come. Thank you very much. Now that Ian has not shown me the sign, congratulations.
Class number 1.
Asante sana.
Oh, congratulations.
Asante.
Congratulations. Well done, well done.
Let's give them a better round of applause. You can see this will be the next set of champions that will be pushing internet governance forward. And I would like to request maybe they can choose a volunteer to say something on behalf of the class. I said a lot, but maybe one of you to just share your experience, and then we will conclude. A volunteer? Yeah, sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cindy Nariasi. I'm a lawyer by profession and an IP specialist. So doing this course helped me understand the nexus between IP and internet governance, artificial intelligence, and data protection. So I just want to say thank you to the faculty for really having us for this cohort. And thank you for all of you for coming. Thank you.